Picture this. It's the middle of the night and you're jolted awake by your child's warm forehead and flushed cheeks. Your heart races as you scramble for the thermometer, confirming what you already knew. Your child has a fever. And like most parents, your instinct might be to immediately reach for fever reducing medication. But what if everything we've been taught about fevers is actually incomplete or even incorrect? Did you know that fever reducing medications might actually prolong illness in some cases? What if that elevated temperature isn't an enemy to be fought, but an intelligent healing response orchestrated by your child's brain and nervous system? One that's actively fighting infection, activating and supercharging the rest of the immune system, and doing a very important job. So today we're going to be completely reframing how you understand fevers, giving you both the confidence and the knowledge to support your child's natural healing abilities rather than suppressing them. Knowing how to handle a fever is something so many parents wrestle with. On the one hand, we have the traditional pediatrician and medical view, which continues to act like the continuous use of fever reducing medications, antibiotics, and so forth is no big deal. But then on the other hand, we have our parental gut instincts and common sense that tells us it's pretty normal for kids to get sick and have a fever here and there. And maybe we should help support the body naturally versus short circuiting the work it's trying to do. Now, ultimately, how we handle these fevers really does play a factor in whether our children develop strong and robust immune systems or go down the road that is all too common these days, one that leaves them with a suppressed, dysfunctional, and weakened immune system over time. So let's dive into what role fevers play in fighting off acute illness and helping develop strong immune systems over time, and get you some tips and strategies to support your child's immune system safely and naturally. But before we jump fully in, I want to highlight a couple stats regarding fevers to help paint a better picture of what we're dealing with here. Fevers account for approximately 1/3 of all pediatric office visits in the United States. That's millions of worried parents rushing their children to doctors each year, often unnecessarily. And what's even more concerning is that in a survey, 1 in 3 parents reported administering fever reducing medication for temperatures below 100.4, which isn't even technically a fever. And this reveals a widespread misunderstanding about what fevers actually are and the important role they play in healing. Most parents have been conditioned to view any elevation in temperature as dangerous, when in reality, research increasingly shows that moderate fevers are a beneficial part of the immune response that can actually help a child recover faster when properly supported, as well as helping them to build stronger, more robust immune systems for the future. But in order to understand this, we need to look at fevers from a different perspective, the natural and neurological perspective. A fever is not simply an elevated temperature. It's a sophisticated neuroimmune response orchestrated by your child's brain and nervous system. The part of the brain that controls this, specifically the hypothalamus, it acts as the body's thermostat. So when your child's immune system detects a pathogen like a virus or a bacteria, it releases chemicals, they're called pyrogens, that signal the hypothalamus to raise the body's temperature, to raise the set point using a cascade of other neurochemicals. It's essentially your body's way of signaling for help. Hero is on the way because there's a threat and we need to deal with it effectively and efficiently. And this cascade of chemicals creates a controlled, intentional increase in temperature that's quite different from, let's say, a dangerous overheating that can occur in conditions like a heat stroke. From a neurological perspective, a fever is actually a sign that your child's nervous system is regulating properly, actively coordinating a complex immune response to eliminate pathogens and to restore proper health and function. And here's some of the powerful benefits of fevers that most parents don't know. Fevers inhibit pathogen growth because many bacteria and viruses, they'll replicate optimally at the body's normal temperature. So even a modest increase in temperature can slow that reproduction rate and slow down the spread of the virus or the bacteria. But fevers don't just raise the temperature of the body and just cook off the bad guys. Higher temperatures actually enhance immune function by accelerating white blood cell production and improving their effectiveness and ability to get the bad stuff out. So it's an offensive move, attacking the bad guys, but it's also a defensive move by bringing in the special forces, which really is just more offense. So you get the point. Fevers are a big part of the body's way of dealing with bugs and pathogens quickly and effectively, but they're also integral for long-term health because not only do they function in getting us back to baseline much quicker, the body remembers the battles it goes through. There's a memory that's built in the neuroimmune system. So the next time that bug comes around, that bad guy comes around, we've fought that war before. Our system has learned from its past experience and can mount a much quicker and more effective response, sometimes without even us knowing. Maybe there's a stuffy nose, but no fever. Maybe there's a fever, but it breaks faster. You get the idea. The body learns. It keeps a score. And when it can do the battle on its own, through its own means, naturally and uninterfered with, it can build a stronger immune system long term. Now, you might be thinking, sometimes certain factors can throw fever and immune system function off track. A child's fever patterns, whether they spike fevers easily, they struggle to develop when fighting infections, or they have prolonged low-grade fevers, or if they never develop a fever when they should, this often indicates there is a dysfunction within their neuroimmune system. If your child's fever response is consistently excessive or suppressive, it could be a sign of underlying nervous system dysfunction and dysregulation throwing things off track. The signals to deal with the invaders are either not happening at all or they're happening in a heightened way that leads to the heightened response or the prolonged response. We see this all the time with kiddos on the spectrum or ones who have dealt with chronic immune challenges where their body won't get warm. It doesn't sweat in response to an invader. And it goes deeper than genetics and the MTHFR gene and other functional medicine conversations we could be having because there's a breakdown of the neuroimmune communication. And there's dysfunction and dysregulation that has set in. And this is often first triggered by early life stress, early factors like prenatal stress, birth trauma from different interventions, forceps, vacuum extraction, C-sections. It can come from frequent and early antibiotic usage that can disrupt proper neurological development and affect how a child's body mounts fever responses. Now, a question you've probably been wondering is like, okay, I get it. Fevers are normal. They're beneficial, not something to be feared. But also, how do I know when I should seek further medical attention? Because that's the reality. While fevers are generally beneficial, certain situations do require professional care. And every scenario is different. But if there's three scenarios that to be aware of, these are the three. If you have a child, an infant under 3 months of age, any fever in that condition is going to require that additional care. Seek further care. If your child is between ages 3 to 6 months and they have a fever above 102.2, you should seek care as well. And as well as persistent fevers above 102.2 for more than 2 days in children over 6 months. These are kind of the three scenarios that we would say, hey, let's look into additional help for a child to help the body, to support the body to get back to a baseline faster. Other signs to watch out for would be lethargy, difficulty breathing, a severe headache with neck stiffness. If a child is refusing to drink, leading to dehydration, or if they have a rash that just doesn't fade when you press into it, these are other signs that we should look into additional care. And remember that even when medical intervention is necessary, this doesn't invalidate the premise that fevers themselves are beneficial. The goal is to approach them with an understanding while also recognizing situations that truly require that additional attention. Now, there's different things you can do to support your child's fever without suppressing it. When it comes to hydration, use room temperature water. You can use diluted electrolyte drinks. Those are great. The ones without the artificial colors. Herbal teas are great for older children, or you can do like a homemade popsicle, something that helps them to get and stay hydrated. Environment is a big thing to consider. Creating a healing environment that consists of extra rest, a comfortable room temperature, a lightweight clothing, and light blankets that can be easily removed. All of these can help support your child's natural immune response. And one thing to be avoidant of would be cold baths. This can induce shivering. While it might feel good in the moment, it can induce that core temperature to actually increase. But if your child is uncomfortable, you can consider sponging like lukewarm water across the forehead, the neck, the armpits, different parts of the body. This can help to do what fever reducing medications are designed to do, but doing it naturally through evaporation. It can slowly lower a child's temperature. And last thing we're going to talk about and recommend is considering getting your child checked for subluxation and dysfunction. That root cause, that foundation, if your child's nervous system is out of balance, getting their system adjusted. Getting adjusted helps improve the efficiency and the communication of the nervous system, which then improves immune system function. So from a neurological perspective, these supportive measures create that optimal environment for the vagus nerve and the parasympathetic, the calming side of the nervous system, to function properly, leading to a more effective fever pattern and faster recovery. And that's why understanding fevers from a natural perspective, a neurological perspective, transforms how we approach this common childhood experience. Rather than fearing fevers, we can recognize them as evidence of a well-functioning neuroimmune system organizing an intelligent healing response. We can support rather than suppress this process. And when we honor the body's innate wisdom and help our children develop resilient, self-regulating immune systems, it's going to impact their health long term. At Rising Health, our approach to fevers is simple. We support the body's natural defenses, providing safe and gentle adjustments to make sure the nervous system is balanced and functioning properly. And we empower and educate parents as to other ways they can help support safely and naturally support their child through this illness, getting through it as fast as possible while also ensuring that we're building up and strengthening the immune system instead of short-circuiting and suppressing it. Of course, there will be times when the fever gets really gets going and our children need help from a medication or from other interventions. But leaving those as a last resort instead of the first option is going to help long term. The next time your child develops a fever, remember that it's their nervous system and immune system working together to create an internal environment where the pathogens are eliminated and the immune system is activated and made stronger. By getting your child checked and adjusted and supporting them with natural immune system boosters, rest, and so forth, you can help them not only overcome their current illness, but come out stronger and more resilient on the other side. Click the link in our bio to learn more about supporting your child's natural fever response and how we may be able to help if your child is getting sick too often or struggles to get over illnesses without the use of medications. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. If we can be of service to you, by all means, reach out. We're here for you guys. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.